Look, if you don't care about your own time, no one else will. Life gives everyone a shot. But while some people are busy actually living, others are busy enslaving themselves to everyone else's demands. In this world, you're either a Dick or a Harry. I'm going to walk you through how these two handled their business, and by the end, you can decide if you're the CEO of your own life or just everyone else's favorite intern. Brace yourself. It's about to get awkward. Most people think being a nice guy is a shortcut to success. But for Dick, being nice just cost him the biggest contract of his life. Today, I'm going to show you why your inability to say no is actually a form of self-sabotage, and how one simple boundary saved another man's empire. My name is Tom, and I'm 72 years old. We're looking at the high cost of a yes and the sheer power of a no, happening in real time. Dick has become a highly successful and enviable businessman. His reputation has grown so much that journalists are constantly asking for interviews, though he usually keeps his head down and stays focused on his work. Enter Jeff, a popular TV journalist from a major network in New York and a childhood friend of Dick's. Jeff flies down to Austin, Texas, assuming that because of their history, Dick will be thrilled to give him an exclusive interview. Jeff sends an email to Dick to set it up. Dick receives it while deep in the middle of a high-stakes project. Instead of staying focused, he immediately stops what he's doing to reply. Because Jeff is an old friend, Dick is terrified of looking too big for his friends or making Jeff feel unimportant. Jeff asks to meet the very next day. Dick actually has a critical meeting with a major client at that time, but he can't bring himself to say no. He mutters to himself, "I don't want him to feel bad. I'll just have to squeeze him into my schedule tomorrow. I don't want him to hate me." When Jeff asks where to meet, Dick lets Jeff choose. Jeff picks a hotel lobby across town. Dick thinks to himself, "I'd much rather meet at my office so I can stay near my work, but I don't want him to feel uncomfortable." He agrees to the hotel. The next day, the interview runs much longer than expected. Dick is sitting there, smiling for the camera, but his mind is racing. He knows he is currently missing his client meeting. Meanwhile, Jeff is thrilled. He is getting all the great scoops he needs. The moment Dick leaves the hotel, his phone buzzes. It's a text from the client. "Since you didn't show up, forget about the contract. We're moving in a different direction." Dick feels a pit in his stomach, hating himself for not having the courage to say no. Meanwhile, in Baton Rouge, Harry owns a small restaurant serving local favorites. His business has attracted a crowd that doesn't just come for the food. They also treat the space as a getaway to enjoy the warm weather. His success happened overnight, and he is now the talk of the town, and journalists have been lining up for a chance to speak with him, all to no avail. Then comes Bill, a famous magazine journalist from New York and a childhood friend of Harry's. Bill travels to Louisiana specifically to get the interview no one else can get. Bill emails Harry to request a sit-down. Harry sees the notification, but he's currently busy teaching himself how to build a new website for the restaurant. He doesn't let the notification distract him. He doesn't even open the email until later that evening after his work is completely finished. He replies to Bill, "Hey, man, it's good to hear from you. I can't do an interview right now because I'm buried in work. Maybe I'll reach out down the road if I have some free time. Give my best to your family." Bill replies, I totally understand, man. I'll check back in with you later. Good luck with the business. People respect you more when you respect yourself. Here is the hardest truth of all. When you spend your life managing other people's emotions, you cease to exist. Think about it. If your schedule is dictated by Jeff's whims, and your location is chosen by Bill's convenience, and your career is sidelined by a yes you didn't want to give, whose life are you actually living? You've become a secondary character in your own movie. Most people aren't living, they are performing. They are wearing a mask of niceness because they are terrified that if they show their true boundaries, the world will stop loving them. But Harry knows a secret that Dick hasn't learned yet. The people who only love you when you say yes don't actually love you. They love your compliance. Every time you say yes to someone else just to avoid a 30-second awkward conversation, you're saying a massive no to your own potential. You're trading your empire for a moment of social comfort. Stop being the supporting actor in everyone else's story. It's time to start being the protagonist of your own. If you keep this up, you'll reach the end of your life only to realize you never actually showed up for it. You were too busy being the nice guy for people who forgot your name the moment you stopped being useful. So, let's get honest in the comments. Which of the signs we talked about hit home the most for you? Was it the fear of looking too big like Dick, or the constant need to manage someone else's disappointment? Sharing your experience helps others realize they aren't alone. And if you're ready to stop living for everyone else and start living for yourself, hit subscribe to join a community focused on authentic growth.